DBN Nation, of course. Support DBN Nation. You're hearing it from Floyd Money Mayweather. What's going on?
This is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
It's Terrence Crawford, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Man, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation. What's going on, Dante Nation fans? Bo Mac.
Bo Mac, Terrence Crawford trainer right here.
Watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Y'all see it. Y'all hear it.
You heard Dante's Boxing.
My man.
I got this on video, Tim. I'm putting it up.
I swear, man.
This is Dante Williams, and you're watching
Dante's
Boxing Nation.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dante's Boxing Nation. This is AK. Go ahead and visit ashkickit.com, and while you at it, subscribe below, and let's get straight to it. So Jermell Charlo looked very impressive this past weekend versus Austin Trout. Austin Trout is a veteran fighter. I hear a lot of people say, oh, he's not the same fighter he used to be. But at the end of the day, he's experienced. He's been there, done that. And you got to keep in mind, he beat Cotto. And Cotto, after he lost to Austin Trout, went on and beat Sergio Martinez and won 160 belt, the lineal belt at 160. And he fought Canelo, gave Canelo a good fight. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for that knockdown that Austin Trout suffered in that fight, it probably wouldn't have been a draw. He wouldn't have gotten a draw, of course, because he fought in Texas. It was an open scorecard and all that. And one judge had Canelo literally winning all the rounds. But at the end of the day, in my scorecard, it would have been a draw if it wasn't for that knockdown. He also gave Jermell Charlo a good fight when he fought Jermell Charlo, twin brother, even though Jermell won the fight. And he gave Hurd a good fight. He was winning early, then got stopped late. And he also fought Lara. So he been all over the place. He's a good fighter. A risky fighter to fight, especially for Jermell. But he still took the fight because, hey, if you sparring Errol Spence and he's a southpaw, why not fight Austin Trout, who's also a southpaw, and he's a top 154 pounder. So it was kind of a risky fight to take for Jermell, but he took it since he had nobody else to fight. And Kell Brook, he don't want the fight with Jermell in my opinion, but we'll see. And Jermell wants to fight Hurd, but Hurd just fought Lara at the time. That's why he don't want to stay inactive. So it's a good way to stay active, and Trout was a good fighter. So in my opinion, as far as who looked better between the two twins, there's a lot of different factors that comes into play because Jermell fought Austin Trout coming off a loss to Hurd, a knockout loss in fact. However, when Jermell fought him, he wasn't coming off a knockout loss. And Jermell himself was struggling to make weight. And who looked and had the better performance overall, I would say Jermell, because he knocked down Austin Trout twice. He got hit less with clean punches than Jermell. So Jermell had a better performance. On the other hand, some people could say Trout was more prepared for Jermell because he fought Jermell and he already seen somebody who fight like Jermell with his type of speed and power because he is twin. And because of that, he had the upper hand because he already went up against a style like that. However, every fighter got his own style, and that goes for the Charlo twins as well. But in my opinion, if Charlo went to the body of Trout throughout the night, I think he would have got the knockout. But he was headhunting too much. He was trying to keep the knockout streak going, and due to that, he failed to knock out Austin Trout. But if he would have went to the body with some of them right hands instead of just headhunting all night, even though he hurt Trout a couple times, at least 4 times that was visible throughout the fight, but at the end of the day, he didn't go to the body after that. Because Errol Spence, he will go to the body from round 1 to round 12 because he knows if you break the body, the head will follow. Other than that, Trout looked good in my opinion. Paulie was saying during the fight that he was smothering some of his work, but at the end of the day, due to that, he wasn't getting countered as well. And sometimes Trout will use his feet, sometimes he will stand his ground. And depending when he does which, Trout will try to close the distance. But if Trout decides to use his feet, then he won't end up smothering his work. But if Trout decides to stand his ground, sometimes Charlo end up covering too much distance and ending up smothering his own work. And that's why sometimes they will headbutt each other. But let's get to the real comparison. Who had the better performance, Hurd versus Trout or Charlo versus Trout? Now, of course, Hurd stopped Austin Trout while Charlo knocked Austin Trout down twice. However, he couldn't stop him, even though he was coming off a knockout loss to Hurd himself. But at the end of the day, what did it take for Hurd to get the knockout? He had to walk through fire to do so, and he was losing the early rounds. That game plan worked versus Trout, but is it going to work versus Charlo? Because Charlo said after the fight that Trout fought to survive, and Hurd, if he comes to fight and fight him like he fought Lara and Trout, he would not survive a 12-round fight because he would not walk through them bombs. He would get knocked out basically. And Hurd do gotta come correct as far as his defense. Now, Hurd came out saying and laughing at Charlo performance, saying you can knock out the person not knocked out. And Hurd is a big guy for a 154-pounder. And Charlo is a big guy himself too, but Hurd is just a huge fighter at 154. I mean, he looked like he 168-pounder. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, I feel like Hurd got to sharpen up his defense. He cannot just walk down Charlo, because Charlo throw haymakers, and when he get the leverage on the shot he wants, you can't just walk through that. If you get hit clean with them shots, any man gonna go down if you keep getting caught like that. So Hurd do gotta tighten up his defense. I mean, I seen Hurd very interested in the Kell Brook match in the UK or whatever, but I feel like the right matchup right now is Charlo versus Hurd, because at the end of the day, Lara won his rematch. A lot of people feel like Lara won that fight too, so that's a risky fight. Even Kell Brook is a risky fight. You don't got nothing to gain from that right now. Let Kell Brook prove himself. While you unify with Charlo, both fighters want to fight each other. It seemed like Charlo been calling him out for the longest, and Hurd been saying, I want to fight him for the longest. So if both fighters are signed with Al Heyman, why not make the fight happen next? Why wait and fight other fighters? Because Charlo, he fought Trout because he had nobody else to fight. So Hurd is the next fight. And then if Charlo wins the fight, he could fight Lara instead. And because Lara gave a good fight to Hurd himself. So we'll see. The 154 pounds still heating up, even though Andrade moved, Jermell Charlo moves from the division. But the division still has a lot of talent. And I still want to see Lubin versus Williams, since they both lost when they was undefeated to the Charlo brothers. Let's see who could come on top if they both fight each other. Feel like that's a good fight. They both got a lot of talent. And as far as Charlo versus Hurd, we can't play the triangle theory because it doesn't work over and over again. When Ali fought Frazier the first time, he lost to Frazier. Then George Foreman came through, knocked out Frazier in the second round. He literally left him off his feet. And then Frazier fought Muhammad Ali the second time. Ali won a close fight. Then Ali fought George Foreman. A lot of people said, oh, he's going to knock out Muhammad Ali. Look what he did to Frazier. And they both fought Frazier. And Ali struggled with Frazier. Then Ali knocked out George Foreman. So we can't play the triangle theory. Like I said, at the end of the day, we have to see the fights in order to see who's the best fighter in the division. It seemed like Charlo has the potential, but Hurd is a huge monster at 154. So the winner of that will have 3 belts. Then the fighter for Golden Boy, he'll beat Saddam Ali, holds the 4th belt. But that fight shouldn't be too hard to make once Hurd and Charlo do what they have to do and fight each other next, because that's the fight we all want to see next, and that will clarify who's the best 154 fighter, no doubt. And that fighter will be on the top pound for pound too. Charlo is already there, so Hurd just beat Lara, who was a pound for pound fighter, knocked out Trout. So Hurd is in his way too, and like I said, that's a fight that we all want to see. And boxing seems like it ain't gonna run out of big fights, because the welterweight division is heating up, the 135 division is heating up, the 154 pound division is heating up, the 160 pound division is heating up, even the 175 division is heating up. And now, let's not forget the biggest fight in boxing at the heavyweight division, Wilder versus Joshua, that's heating up. So it's looking alive again. So drop your comments. You the Lions only team, or the Flash Hurd? Are you on his team? So if you team Charlo, then hashtag Lions only. If you team Hurd, then hashtag the Flash is coming through. And he's gonna have to be the Flash when he fights Charlo to avoid them big bombs, because like I said, he can't fight Charlo the way he fought Hurd and Lara. Gotta be more careful. And Trout himself has to go to the body and to the head. He can't just headhunt all night, because a guy like Hurd, he's a big fighter, so he could take a punch as well. So drop your comments below. Subscribe if you want to get smarter by the minute. If you want to get dumb about the second, don't listen to these casual ass fans. And peace.